Hello everyone, I am Asadullah Khan Wazir and you are watching the Eurasian Digital. Today we are going to talk about Madagascar, a nation known more for its biodiversity than its politics, is suddenly at the center of a major power storm. This week, the military announced it had taken control of the country, just hours after Parliament voted to impeach President Andry Rajoelina. The announcement came from Colonel Andry Rajoelina, who stood in front of the ceremonial palace in Antananarivo and declared, "We have taken the power." The military says all institutions except the lower house of parliament are now dissolved. A transitional council will be formed. A prime minister will soon be appointed and a referendum sometime in the next 2 years. For now, the constitution is suspended. The president has fled and the nation stands on the edge of uncertainty. So what has really happened and why does it matter? Not just for Madagascar but for the geopolitics of Africa and beyond. To understand this, we need to look at two layers: the internal crisis driven by public anger and youth-led protest, and the external chessboard where regional and global powers quietly compete for influence. Dear viewers, it started with something as basic as power cuts and water shortages. Weeks of blackouts, failing infrastructure, and rising cost of living pushed young people, calling themselves Gen Z Madagascar, into the streets. Their protest began as an outcry against poverty and corruption, but quickly evolved into a demand for political revolution. What we are seeing here is not just a local uprising. It is a part of new pattern across the global south. From Kenya to Sri Lanka, Nepal and Bangladesh, youth movements are rising, angry at corruption, inequality and elite control. In Madagascar, that anger reached the barracks when the military unit captured, the same unit that helped Rajoelina rise to power back in 2009, refused orders to shoot protesters and joined the demonstrations. The game was over. The president fled, the army stepped in, and now a familiar word has returned to headlines: coup. But Madagascar turmoil is not just about internal discontent. It is also about who benefits from instability. Remember, Madagascar sits on the Indian Ocean ski maritime routes between Africa's east coast and the Indo-Pacific corridor, a region that has become a quiet battleground for influence among the United States, France, China and India. Whoever controls Madagascar holds a strategic advantage in this part of the ocean. Access to sea lanes, mineral resources and regional security routes stretching toward Mozambique and East Africa. France, Madagascar's former colonial power, has deep economic and military ties here, and reports say President Rajoelina may have fled the country on a French military plan. That detail, if true, is geopolitically significant. It suggests that even in moments of collapse, Paris still has its hand on the island's political pulse. Meanwhile, China has expanded its economic presence in Madagascar, investing in mining, infrastructure and trade. For Beijing, the island fits neatly into its broader Indian Ocean strategy, linking the Belt and Road Initiative across Eastern Africa, while Washington, on the other hand, faces a dilemma. Officially, the US condemns coups and calls for democracy, but in practice, when it comes to strategic location, it often adopts a wait and see approach, hoping to protect its influence no matter who rules. In short, Madagascar may soon become the next arena in the global tug of war between Western and Eurasian powers.